Welcome back, and this should be the start of episode 7. Now, I did load the game briefly because we've done a couple of updates, and we're now on Caveopolis 4.1, and within the update period I noticed all the power was being sapped out, so I changed these to redstone control high, so basically turning them off while I had a chance to come back. And the first thing we need to do is upgrade this engine. So we're going to do that while I've got some power left in the system. I'm going to need some gold for that, and I don't think I've got any processed. So this is probably all food. Yep. So that can go in here. Ready for our bowls. And we need some gold, and I need to fill that hole in. So I'm going to create some integral components. I don't think we can make this one yet, can we? Or can we? Signal them. Induction smelter recipe. We don't have silver yet, so not quite. So we'll just we'll do the hardened integral components, which we can make, and then we'll have a look and see whether that doubles the output from this. So do we get 80 RF a tick? Maybe. Just say 2 times. So we need a gold gear, 4 invar, 2 redstone, 2 glass. Yeah, that's everything. So let's see what this gives us. And it does indeed double the output to 80 RF a tick. Right, okay. Kind of was expecting that, to do that. Now, these had run out of power, so it's probably going to take a while to fill back up. Oh, they have filled back up. Okay, so it will be the universal cables then that are filling up with power. So which word did we get to here? This is refined fuel, so we need to pull out of that one into the engine. And yeah. Now let me see if these engines will turn with the crescent hammer. They don't with others, with other wrenches, but we haven't tried it yet with a crescent hammer, so you never know, they may do. So that was iron gear, 3 iron, I believe. Yeah. So the crescent hammer is the actual thermal wrench. So what I want to do is, because there's actually nothing on this, well, there is actually these machines on this cable, but the fuel is going to be coming out of this fractionating still just here. So that's where the output is. So that needs light oil. Right, so let's turn that one back on, because that's full of crude oil. This one here is full of resin, which creates the crude oil. The resin into the tree oil. That creates the crude oil. So we'll turn this step back on. And we can turn this step back on as well. Oh, that was already on. Now, let me see if... Oh, that's actually filling up. I was going to say that we could move the engine across once all the refined fuel had gone out of it, but it's actually, it looks like it's filled all the cables then. Yeah, it's filled all the cables. So we'll let this burn out, and then we'll move the engine up here. What we'll do then is we'll use this tank and output straight into it. Now we can do that just by selecting orange there and make sure the auto output is enabled, and that refined fuel will get pushed straight into this tank, and then we can feed it out of there, and hopefully if I can turn these engines around we'll face it into that conduit. If not, we can put it underneath. I'll just have to jig around with pipes. So tree oil is waiting for the crude oil to be processed, so that's this step here. So I think we're going to need to speed this fractionating still up, and to do that we're going to create another integral component, and this will have the knock-on effect of using more power, so doubles the power use. It's sulfur dust, so one gives off sulfur dust and the other gives off tar, I believe. That's an issue that I need to resolve. So I'm pretty sure that in the fractionating still, yeah, processing heavy oil gives off tar, but light oil gives off sulfur. So we need an output from this. So can we select? Oh, we can't select the front output. Damn. Well, it's going to have to come out the top, isn't it? Because all the other faces are in use. So top is going to have to be output. Now, can it push it out? Or do we have to wrench these? I think we have to wrench them. Yeah. So I need to get up there. Now, does this work? It would appear it does. Yep. That's good stuff. Right, at least we know. Right, so that should run non-stop now, as long as it gets an equal part in the output. Now, I did speed this machine up, which might have a knock-on effect of this machine not keeping up or getting too much of one particular type. Gonna have to keep an eye on that. And the other issue is, of course, that this bitumen here has nowhere to go. I don't really want to stick chests everywhere, but it would seem that I am at the minute. So that gives the bitumen somewhere to go. Right, so there's the round number. So we need this to finish before this makes another cycle. Does it? No, it doesn't. So the simple answer would be to upgrade this machine. Which we already have. So it would look like we need a fractionating still for the light oil. This is now a problem because this never gets zeroed out. Saying that, that's just zeroed out. Oh no, it's the heavy oil. That will never get zeroed out because I've put that in there. Right, okay, so we'll leave that upgrade out of here. Now the question is, I don't think they stack, but can you put two of the same one? No, you can't. Right, okay. I knew that. Right, so I think I'll throw it in there for the time being, in the induction smelter. Because we're going to be using that quite a bit. Right, let's have a look at the quests and see where we got to. So we are on... We pretty much did this. We just need buckets of oil and stuff to complete that, but that's not really necessary. I mean, it doesn't give us anything. So I'm not going to bother doing those. We'll probably end up doing those by accident. The soul forge is next. So we've already been down and got soul sand and soul soil. So we need to make this soul forge. So that's nether quartz, steel ingot, some glowstone. Yeah, that's pretty much straightforward. Now this is actually a multi-block. I know that much. Yeah, so we need these. Now we need 4 wither skulls. We We can make wither skulls, but we still need... Oh, we can make those as well with bones. And that's bone meal. Right, so we need a lot of... Might need more bone meal, but let's have a look how much we've got. Oh, no, we should have enough. Should be more than enough. So let's just have a look at those wither skulls again. So the wither skulls are made with a normal skull and the withering dust. The withering dust is blaze powder in the eroder, so that's okay. The skeleton skulls are bones and bone blocks. You can make the bones in the eroder from a bone block, and then a bone block is just bone meal in a 3x3. So let's just make some of that. So that goes back into bone meal. Right, okay. But we can do that. We need... How many more? So if we need 4 skulls, we need 16 bones. So it's a good job that bone meal is easy to come by. Right, I'll come back when we've got our eroded bones and eroded withering dust. In fact, while this is converting, let's just have a quick run around and have a look at how things are going. So trees are fine. Do we have any mobs in our little farm at the end here? Oh, a skeleton. Can't get to him unless I run in. See how our animals are doing up top. Yep. As expected, they are doing very well. So let's shear all the sheep. So we can get to them all. I think that's all of them. Yep. What did I leave in these? Oh, that's where the axe went. I wondered where it went. Leave the stone up here. Got enough in my inventory, clogging it up. Right, how are we doing? Right, so that's that. Let's offload the white wool, and we need some more bone meal. And what we need now is 4 blocks. And now that should be enough for 4 wither skulls. And that's how we get wither skulls without killing a wither. Right, so that's the soul forge. So we just need these other blocks now to go with it. So we need 13 more soil. Ooh, that was lucky. Only just. We have the 4 wither skull heads. Unless they've... No, we've still got them. We need flint and steel and 4 hardened glass. So hardened glass is nether quartz, obsidian. I thought there was a quest for obsidian. Have I missed it? Have I missed a step? Oh yes, just here. Right, so we can make obsidian in the blastula. So let's dig that back out. So it's just a bucket of lava. Do we have a bucket somewhere? We do. And 1 bucket of lava. We'll make one obsidian, but we need a few, don't we? That makes two, so we need two obsidian. Is that one for one? It is. So we need two sand. Do we have any sand? We do. And we want two nether quartz. And with the two obsidian, we put that into the induction smelter. And that gives us our hardened glass that we need to complete that. So we just need flint and steel now. Now we can just put a gravel in the... Oh, that's enrichment chamber, not... Let's have another look. Thought we could, yeah. Gravel in the induction smelter will make flint. And that should get our flint and steel. Right, so that's all that ticked off. Now, how do you make the soul forge? Well, what you actually need is you need the book which came with the pack. And I believe the soul forge is in here. There, soul forge. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, at least 3 high, unless we put it in the floor, which we could do actually. If we put the bottom layer in the floor, and we also see there in the middle, we're going to need to light that. So this is a 3x3 base with the soul soil in each corner and then a skull on top. And then we need to be able to place this above the fire. So what we'll do is I'll make it over here. I'm not quite sure if there's any bad things happen with this when it's making stuff. So I'll move it out of the way. Don't believe it needs power. If it does, then I'll probably end up moving it again. So 3x3 base. And then one in each corner. And then with the skulls on the top of those. Well, I've only got 3. Thought I made 4. Can I only make 3? Oh, it's on my head. Oh dear. And then these, like so. And then we need another block. I need another block. Any block. Smooth stone will do. Put that in the back. Then we light this. Then place the soul forge against that. And then we can remove this block. I believe that's done. Let's give it a try with something. Bright shards into amethyst shard. Let's try that. Yep, works fine. Right, and the purpose of this is to create this soul steel ingot. And the soul steel is just a steel ingot in that soul forge. So let's just grab a steel ingot. Not sure how many we're going to need, but if we need a lot, I'm going to have to make more steel. And now we have our soul steel, and we can now break deep slate, which means we can go all the way down to bedrock. So burn that, seeing as we can use the induction smelter to create alloys now. I didn't get a quest complete. Oh, Nether Star. So we know how to make wither skulls now. So we can actually make the skulls and then summon a wither to kill it. Which I'm not going to do just yet unless we need nether stars to carry on. So let's have a look what's next. Better mob farms. Oh look, that's the amethyst shard. So a deep learner. Yeah, we need more steel. So let's make a stack of steel and let's keep an eye on this. Wow, that goes down quick. Our refined fuel's coming through quite well. So doing it that way without an upgrade in this is fine for creating a refined fuel, but is it enough to keep this thing going? And we're going to need more than one eventually because we're kind of stretching this to a limit as it is. Now before we go into deep, it used to be deep mob learning this mod. It used to be very power hungry mod too. Especially the process with the simulation chamber and the loop fabricator. They used to use quite a lot of power. Now, let's see where we go from here. The deepest part. So this is into flux networks. So we need Eye of Enders. Bedrock fragments. So that needs the Bedrock Infuser, which is, I'll take it up here. So we need to break Deepslate by the looks of it. See what the pre-check is. That's the pre-check. So if we go down the bottom and break Deepslate, that should unlock this passageway here. And if we dig down to Bedrock, because it looks like the Bedrock Infuser is actually needed, we need some more obsidian, 4 more. So let's just chuck 4 buckets of lava in the blast chiller there. That should catch up no problem. And go down the bottom and get some Deepslate. So we need our teleport for that. And we're going down to the nether level. And then our Deepslate is just down here. So we'll just extend this down to Bedrock. Yeah, at last. Let's just create a little hole here. Hopefully the pick will last long enough to just square this out. And then I can create a teleport straight to Bedrock. Run program, new location. Bedrock. And then we can go back. Right then, we came all the way down there for Deepslate, which we've got. Although I'm not sure that's the right Deepslate. Yeah, we just need to smelt it. So let's just smelt a stack of that and leave that going in there. We mine the cobblestone, but this completes the quest. There we go. So we need to make the Bedrock Infuser next. So that's 4. Need another 1. And then these 4 obsidian. And we need to make another soul forge. Must be placed on bedrock. That's the only information we have about it. See whether the manual says anything, which I've already got on me. Okay, so you just need to put it on bedrock. So back down we go. Temp pad. Run program. Bedrock. Teleport. So we might as well put it in a corner. Does this require power by any chance? It does indeed. Oh. Right, okay. It does require power, but we need Deepslate to put in it. And then that gives us the bedrock fragment, but it still must be placed on bedrock. The good next question is, how much of this bedrock fragments do we actually need? Do we create flux dusk with it? We do. So we're going to need a lot. That's an awful lot. Do we still have... There's the Stirling engine there. So if we connect these pipes up with this, we can steal that engine. And that will of course keep that process going, so it's not reliant on this engine anymore. So we will steal a stack of charcoal to power it. Let's take 20 Deepslate and see how we get on from there. Right, okay, so that answers that question about using the crescent hammer over other wrenches with these dynamos. So as you can see there, it quite obviously does wrench down. Now this only outputs 40 RF. It's not upgraded, I believe. No, it's not. So let's see, how much RF does this take? It takes 100 per tick. Wow, okay. So that is not good enough to run this. It'll do just to get a couple to complete the quest. And the other question, of course, is does this drop back to 0 or will it push through? Drops back to 0. Okay. So the question I had, yeah, is where was the next extractor upgrade? And it's just here. So what do we need for this? So we need Fluix blocks. Oh wow, that's expensive. We need something better than a Stirling dynamo for this at 100 FE a tick. Because even upgrading this is not enough. So we need 2 upgraded to be able to shove enough power into this so it doesn't run out. So let's make another Stirling dynamo, and we need 2 integral components. Ooh, didn't like that. I thought it had vanished then. Oh, I didn't bring any more fuel with me. So does that give us 80? It does. So that should be enough to power this now without losing power. Right, so we need an absolute metric ton of Deepslate to get into flux networks. Because there's 4 in only 2 flux dust. Right, so we can automate this without moving anything. Well, so long as this is not sided, of course. So if we hop it in there, see what we've got. We've got nothing in at the minute. So if I put a stack of Deepslate in there, does that go in there? It does. Right, lovely. And then we can simply extract the chest. And that should, in theory, pull out the fragments, which it does. Right then, time to see how long this pickaxe will last. Oops, keep pressing the wrong key for ulti-mine. Now mobs should not spawn on Bedrock. Normally. Wow, this pick's getting wrecked. And then it was gone. Well, that got us a few stacks, but I was hoping it would get us a bit further than that. So what we can do here is... Oh, damn, I thought I had another chest. Oh, I've used them both. Right. Let's just use... Seeing as I've got them on me, let's just use a couple of hoppers, but I'll just split that between the two. So I think what I'll do is I'll process a load of this bedrock fragments off camera, because there's no point you waiting around and watching me do that. We're going to need a fair few by the looks of it to get anywhere at all with flux networks, and then to progress into where are we here? See, the flux block is just going to be, wow, that's 5. Oh, that makes 4. Oh, it's not that bad then, because that makes actually 4 of those. So that is literally only an extra 4 flux dust. Ender pearls might be an issue. We can't do that yet. Where do we get chorus fruit from? Well, the end, of course. Now the question is, where is the end in all this? Down here? No. Oh, here. Right, okay. So we need to get to Top Rock, which is at the top of the world. So to get that, we need the steel casing. To get that, we need energized steel and the diamond and emeralds. So that's on this particular tree here. This is the power system, which needs dielectric paste. So we don't have much choice but to work through this. looks like we're going to need to find some Endermen to farm. Because even if we do it using the loot fabricator, we're still going to have to kill Endermen. We need the Endermen to kill to make the data model. Now, what? I know we've killed some Endermen, but where are they supposed to? They're supposed to spawn at y minus 21 to minus 40. But we've already killed some Endermen up on our level upstairs, so Right, I went back upstairs and just got what I needed to finish this off properly. So what I'm going to do just here is stick a single item pipe in, or a chest there, extraction there, and then fill that full of charcoal so we can keep going. These will then top up. Oh, should top up. Oh yeah, I went in just then. And that will keep this going. And I've stuck some more stacks of cobbled deep slate in the furnaces upstairs, but we're getting there. Right, so this should keep running for quite some while now. I've put several stacks of deep slate in there, a few stacks of charcoal in there, so that should keep those ticking over. And we'll take these almost 3 stacks. Might just wait for the 3 stacks to complete, and then we'll take these back up and get cracking with the next quests to open Flux Network. In fact, I think we might have to come back down as well if we're gonna. Oh, we don't need to crack these like we normally do we? No, it's just a recipe. Right. Do these have any other use? Apart from obviously needing 4 to complete that, it doesn't look like it. Oh, we have an ultimate shard, which makes the spacesuit. Ooh, right, okay, so let's take 3 stacks up. And hopefully that might be enough, never know, to get on with Flux Networks. Right, I've got wood burning in here to make charcoal. I stole all the charcoal out to take down to the Bedrock Infuser thing. So let's get cracking. Oh, that's right, we need ender eyes, don't we? Well, we're going to need them at some point here, because these have them in. So we need ender pearls. If we're going to need to kill endermen, we might as well do this. And at least get an Enderman model. So we'll make the deep learner first. So we need 4 redstone and a piece of glass. So from that we need a model framework, which is 4 more of the soul steels. Right, so as you can see from the tooltip there, what you do is you right click this model framework on an entity, and that sets it at that. So I need to find an Enderman and right click this on it, basically. So right click on a hostile mob to create a model of that mob. That type of mob must be killed a minimum of 6 times to allow it to be used in the simulation chamber. Must be placed in the deep learner for kills to count. So I'm going to punch through here. Now Endermen are obviously need 4 high. So this might take a while to do. But it's going to give me a 64 long tunnel. Right, so there's our tunnel. Looks like it's going to be quite hard to see down there. Now let's block this end off, apart from 1. And then what we'll do is we'll take out this block and the one next to it to create somewhere to stand. Yeah, that's fine. I might just take this out and stick stone down, because soul sand obviously makes you move slow. Right, let's turn that off. So that should be more than enough distance for mobs to spawn. I mean, 64 blocks, if it's accurate to 64, is 4 chunks. So 4 chunks away usually is enough for mobs to spawn. Now we could create it wider. Doesn't really matter, as long as we can see the Enderman to look at the faces, and then that'll drag them straight to the front. Right, it would appear like there's nothing is spawning. So I'm going to take another 4 out. Oh, 5. 2, 3, 4. And see, creating a bigger hole will entice more mobs to spawn. Now, pretty sure it didn't say in the book that they need to be on a specific block. So if you look at, I think it's the passive mobs, it says on moss blocks. So it doesn't actually say anything about these needing a specific block, and we've killed most of these apart from the stray from upstairs anyway. See, we have killed an Enderman already. Oh right, so Enderman is also 79 to 65. That's why we saw them up top then. Ah, I see a mob, and I see a blaze, and I see an Enderman. I can see his face there, look. So what we do is we take the model framework and right click it on the mob. There it's set. Now we can kill said mob. And now we should have a count. Data collected 0. Oh, we need to put it in the thing. Oh, damn it. So you take the deep learner, right click it, put the data model in here before you start killing them. Now, is that an Enderman? Can't tell, it's too dark. No, that's a wither skeleton. So it doesn't look like the blaze can see us from a very long far away, which is always a good thing. Right, so I shall be back when I've killed 6 Endermen, and that might take a while, a long while. And I've just realised those 4 ender pearls we've now got are what we need to get this. Because there are 4 eyes of the ender to make 4 of those, and we need 4 of those blocks to make that. So we can actually make that now.